Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about this specific topic and how to get complete health without pain in your life, and this is absolutely something you can achieve. We are going to focus only specifically in physical pain in this particular lesson. But many of the things I'm going to say can be applied to other things. Probably, if there is enough interest, I could create another lesson for this, but pretty much everything I'm going to say can be applied to any disease or condition you have. So let's get started. So first of all, we have disease and pain in our life, but this shouldn't really be the case. Our body is designed to self-heal, so this is actually a natural process, and when we experience disease or we experience pain, it means there is something that is not normal, there is some abnormality, some disorder, because otherwise our body should be able to heal itself and we should be able to live our life completely painless, pain-free. So why disease and pain come to our life? This is usually because there is some kind of energy block, you could call it negativity. Negativity means any experience we have in our life that causes some kind of traumas, whether it's phobias, bad memories, and this becomes negative reinforcement. So the more you're sick, the sicker you get. This is how it works. Is usually what you can call a vicious cycle. And mentality or psychology has a lot to do with it, because what we are seeing in our life is that we are blocking the natural self-healing process. In very rare occasions, humans will need interventions, maybe like specific accidents or something, some blunt impact to the body, maybe we will need medicine. But otherwise, for most diseases and most pain, we can actually heal on our own. And how are we going to do this? So we first need to take things into our hands. We have to stop affirming in a negative way that this disease is mine. You don't need to take possession. You don't need to take ownership of the pain. Sometimes you even somehow, if it sounds very strange, you become used to your pain, and if you don't have it, you feel strange. This had happened to me once. I was working with a person that was a close friend, and I was helping her. I was teaching her how to get rid of a specific pain. And we reached a point where she said, "Oh, please, just reduce the pain, but don't take it all away from me. Because I don't know, I have lived so long with this pain that I wouldn't know what to do without the pain in my life." So this is completely abnormal. But I cannot say that I don't understand, because disease or pain has a lot to do with psychology, and the origins of pain and disease are actually in psychology. So that's also where we will find the solution. Pay attention to this, because this is a very, very simple process to heal physical pain. You can use it, like I said, for any other conditions, whether it's emotional pain or anything else. But for this particular example, I'm going to teach you how to use it to heal a specific physical pain. And this works pretty well. I have used this method to heal myself. Particularly, I was experiencing what is called sciatica pain. So I was having this very excruciating pain that you feel mostly in the legs and sometimes the buttocks. Even sometimes you feel it in other parts, but it's usually mostly in the legs, maybe lower limbs sometimes, depending on how intense it is. You can feel it in one side of the body, in two sides. Has a lot of variations. So when I went to the doctor told me, well, there is no cure. You need to have surgery or have very, very strong narcotics. I was like, oh, I don't want any of that. Who wants to have a surgery, especially if it was a surgery in the spine? So he even mentioned that there was the nerve in the column that was being oppressed by a specific disc in the column, in the spine. And I just didn't want to have surgery. So what I was doing some research on what natural methods I could use to get rid of sciatica. And I found this particular way. And this way I found that is very much compatible with what I taught in a previous lesson where I'm teaching about how to use this to eliminate psychological problems. So it is, even though this teaching that I'm going to give you right now is not originally from the Gnosis, it's pretty much compatible with Gnosis, and you can see it is so much similar that it could have been Gnostic in origin, but it is not, and it was created by someone who was just focused on physical pain, and then later discovered that can be used in other ways. So let's get started in the process to see how it works. The methodology is very simple. You need to find a specific section of the body where the pain is located. And this is somehow tricky in sometimes because in many occasions people say, oh, I just have a pain in my back. Okay, but where in your back, I could ask. And they say, everything in my back, I have this pain all over my back. So when you have this kind of situation, whether it's all over your back that you're feeling the pain, or it's all over your shoulders, or all over your leg, whatever it is, all over your head, try to dissect it and divide it and try to make it the smaller section possible. So let's say that you have a pain and you say, oh, I have pain all over my leg. So try to focus on your leg and say, okay, so if you feel pain all over your leg, let's start with the smallest section of the leg that you can actually feel pain. And you will find that it's more useful to have a smaller section. So find the smaller section that you can actually identify the pain, that it is located in this section. And that's where we are going to start. And then it is important to have some, let's say, circumstances, because usually pains don't come in isolation. So for example, if you have a pain in your leg and you say, okay, I have this pain when I'm walking. So this will be some kind of circumstance or condition. Yes, but it's when I'm walking, but only when I'm walking and it is cold. Or when I'm walking and I'm going uphill. Okay, so try to record all the possible conditions, circumstances where the pain is coming. I'm just giving an example, but of course every particular situation will be different. So try to pay attention not just to where the pain is happening in the body, to also in which conditions this pain is coming. And if you try to put some effort, you will even be able to find even some emotions. some thoughts, sensations, even places, specific places where you are when this pain comes. Even in some occasions with some people, this pain comes. So this will be interesting for psychological reasons, but we don't need it for this particular method. We don't need the psychology, but it is important to understand when it happens, because all of these, let's say, variables will help us to resolve the pain. So that's why we want to just go beyond the physical location and try to find all the different variables that will kind of lead to this pain, because in some cases you will feel that you feel less pain, let's say when you are walking, but it is actually hot weather. You feel less pain, and you feel more pain when it is cold weather or when it's raining or something like this. So try to pay attention to all these things. Keep those in mind, and if possible, try to find out. You need to do some research on your own life. Try to find out, when did the pain appear first? What happened? There is usually a story for every pain. So try to find out your own story. Try to recover this memory of what exactly happened, what was happening in your life, or if it was a specific event that brought this pain into your life, and before this event there was no pain, whatever it was. You need to be able to tell the story. And who are you going to tell the story? You are going to tell the story to yourself, to your own healing mechanism, if you want to call it. And next, we want to be able to have some self-assessment of the severity of the pain. So if you are like most people who have this pain for longer than one day, you should be able to know that how painful it is in this particular moment. You don't need to worry about how much pain you felt yesterday or the month before or the week before. How much pain do you feel right now, from 1 to 10? In your own opinion, this doesn't matter to anyone else. It's your own perception. How much pain do you feel right now? Okay, so once we have all these things ready, we can start the meditation for the removal of pain. And we're going to talk to ourselves, to our own selves, to, let's say, God within us. But if you're not a religious person, this can also work. So you will basically talk to your own self, to your subconscious, if you want to call it, and you're going to tell the story. So all these things that we were talking about, you're going to tell them to yourself using natural language. So you're going to say, like if it was a friend that you were telling the story about your pain, you say, I started to have this pain when this and this happened in my life, and in these conditions I feel this much pain, and right now my pain is from 1 to 10. I feel like it is 10. I feel really a lot of pain right now. So you're going to tell the story of your pain, of your current situation of pain currently. That means right now. How much pain do you feel right now? You're going to tell all the story, all the conditions, all the circumstances, timing, what part of the body. And you're going to start to ask for the healing. So you will usually ask, I want to eliminate the negative emotions that cause pain in my body. I want to eliminate the negative feelings or thoughts that cause my pain to come, or this particular situation that happens in my life. I want to resolve it. And you will focus on asking for eliminating the source of the pain. Not so much the source, the pain itself, but the source of the pain. So this is what you're going to tell yourself, let's say your own subconscious or whoever you want to call it. So you are going to tell this story, ask for the elimination, and then you are going to ask for this cleaning, for healing, release, and you will have some mental silence. You're going to have a mental silence, and then you will try as much as possible and as long as possible to not have any thoughts whatsoever. And you can have some expectation attitude. The expectation attitude really helps a lot. So what are you expecting? You are expecting the healing. So that's, you're setting up yourself for healing, and you're just there waiting for the healing to happen. And you can have even some feeling of joy, feeling of love, if that's easy for you to reproduce. Some feeling of joy, just try to feel peace or joy, love, whatever it comes easier for you. And for some people, usually helps to have some kind of imagination where you imagine that you're healing the pain. And this can be done in different ways. For example, I'm not so visual when I'm doing this, but some people use any kind of image, like maybe a light coming and giving some color light in the specific part of your body when you're having the pain. Whatever works best for you, do it. And do it for a couple of minutes. It doesn't need to be very, very long. It actually works very fast. And then you will come back again to the self-assessment. And then you can do some testing of the pain, current pain, and try to see if it went down. Usually, if you did the process correctly, it should come down from whatever number it was. Let's say, for the example we were giving, if it was 10, okay, now I feel the pain, actually the intensity, to be just 5. Okay, that means you had some progress. So that means you can work again and go through the steps and do it again. And when you finish the meditation, you can come back and assess the pain level again and see if it went down or not. Usually this process will produce some decrease in the level of pain, but there are limitations due to the fact that pains and the pain, or the sources of the pain rather than the pain itself, is usually networked. So pay attention after the pain decreases if you feel pain in other part of the body. So this is usually the case when you reach a point where you can no longer decrease it. Let's say it was 10, then you did the meditation and the pain feeling went to 5. Then you do it again, it went to 5. You do it again and it doesn't go lower than 5. So then try to pay attention and see if you feel pain in other sections of the body. Because pain has some kind of network connections, the sources of the pain, usually you will start to feel pain in other part of the body. So if you can no longer decrease the pain in that section or in that part of the body, try to work in the pain in the other section of the body. And you will find that sometimes decreasing the pain in the other section will have some kind of ripple effect, and healing a section will heal other sections of the body. So this is really amazing. It's very interesting process, and you can do this every day. Actually, if you do it correctly, you can even do it during the day. You just need a couple of minutes on your own. You can do it sitting anywhere where you can have access to some peace and quiet location. You can just do this pain. You can just close your eyes and do it on your own. Nobody needs to know what you're doing. It's some internal process, so you can do this pretty much anywhere where you can find some space, private space. And this is actually how it works, and it works wonderfully, but it needs to be done consistently. So for this to work, you need to do it over and over and over until you feel completely healed. And if it is a very grave condition where the pain is really strong or it has a lot I don't know, a lot of consequences in your life, you need to do it for days or weeks or even months. For me to get rid of the sciatica pain I was experiencing took me probably about a year to be completely pain-free. But after that, I have been already pain-free for about 7 years. So I didn't have the pain ever again after 7 years, but it took me 1 full year to heal. However, the first effect of this practice, you can feel it within the first 10 minutes. So my pain really went down considerably in the first 10 minutes of the practice. So you will feel the benefits very quickly, but in order for the benefits to be long lasting, actually you should be able to pinpoint the psychological source of the pain. But if you don't want to go into that, you can still have the benefits. It will be much more effective and probably will work much faster if you can pinpoint what are the psychological sources of the pain. But if you don't want to go there, it is too painful for you to go into the psychological side of things, then don't do it. Just focus on the pain, and actually also the psychological portion will kind of heal itself because everything is connected. So that's all. It's actually very simple practice and it's very effective. I highly recommend it. And let me know what you guys think about it. And like I say, you can live without pain and have a very happy and productive life and enjoy your life without it. So that's all I wanted to say for now. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. And as always, I want to remind you about the opportunity to support my work as content creator. In the description of each episode, I include information about different platforms you can use to support me with donations if you want to. You can also like, share this episode in social media, or subscribe. I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for watching this episode.